Well, it's 4:30 in the morning again, so that must mean it's time for the last round of the MG Car Club Speed Championship here at Castle Combe. So just arriving and setting up, out for a bit of a look, see what the track's doing. You may already have noticed the umbrella that I'm sporting because it's drizzling lightly, which means it's going to be a wet one. The tarmac from the exit straight, incredibly slippy, first observation. So we come out of here, we're going straight into the fairly long straight, be able to run the midget right out there, and then we're going clockwise around the circuit until we come back in over there. Viewers of last year's video will note that we came back down here and then went back in the start exit here, but changes this year, apparently due to an incident around here last year. We're now coming into the pit entrance that's over in on that far wall, missing out this straight section in front of the paddock. Viewers from last year will also remember that I went on a track walk which actually turned into a track run, because this is one of the biggest circuits on the circuit. So I've made an executive decision in the rain, and that is I'm going to have a look at the circuit from here. Yep, that looks nice. And I'm going to go and get a bacon sandwich. Now, normally this is a mistake. So you're looking on the track walk for debris, standing water, undulations in the track, see if anything's changed. So really I should do that. But this time I'm going to decide that I'm going to treat practice for exactly what practice is for, and that is to go around fairly slowly, see what it's all about, and then put a bit more emphasis on the timed runs rather than trying to suss it out in practice. So practice very much a slow one this time around, and we'll put a bit more effort into the time runs. Really conscious here as well at Castle Combe that there is no runoff. If you lose the car on the circuit, there's a little bit of grass, and after that you're kissing the tyres. So caution is the name of the game today. Don't particularly want to bin the car on the last event of the season, but let's see how we go. So this is the last round of the MG Car Club Speed Championship. Some 20 plus events have taken place over the season. Seems like only yesterday I was at Cadwell Park for the first event. Ironically, that was wet as well. So starting wet and finishing wet. But luckily, I've had a fairly good run of dry tracks through the season. So it's been a fairly good one. At the finish then, coming around the circuit, got a small chicane here, down here, and then through the timing gun. So this part there is the last bit of the circuit that's been cut out. Just down here to the left then is the pit entrance, so that's where we'll peel off and go back to the paddock. Track walk complete then. We've got to get through scrutineering, get the car checked over, and then on to practice. So we'll get a couple of practice laps done, and then we'll pick up the action with the timed laps, where we need to make the times count. So at the lunchtime break, practice around 95 seconds. First run, managed to get 3 seconds off that, so down to 92. That's great, but the bad news is we're chasing an 81-second target time, so still 11 seconds to find on a wet course, which is very slippy, really difficult to get off the start line here, and unforgiving in the corners. So tiptoeing really round the corners as fast as I dare go. I'll be very, very surprised if we can get anywhere near that target time today. But let's see what's the best we can do this afternoon in the runs that are left. So waiting again. Looks like another car has gone off in these conditions. Really tough going today on the cars, but we're waiting for the final lap. Luckily the weather's dried up, so this is the last run of the last event of the season, and it's the driest one of the day, so all to play for. Well, because of a racing incident, the event got stopped, and because there were so few of us left to run, that was the end of the day. So the times that were on the board up until then are the times that that count. So that is the end of Castle Combe. Only thing to do now then is add today's points to the total for the championship and see what the season has done. And so then to the results. Castle Combe was by far my worst performance of the season, coming in at around just under 90% of the target time. So as a result of which I did 9 events. That will be the one that gets dropped. So with that in mind then, we can now take a look at the end of year championship results. The overall championship was won by Lee Willers. Congratulations, Lee, fantastic result. I came second in the Northern Championship, which, because you can't win both based on the rules, means I get elevated to the Northern Championship winner, a little bit like last year behind Andy Walker. So fantastic results, something I'm really proud of. Second overall in the championship this year, as opposed to third last year, so a small improvement. And again, bringing to end another great season. So now we start to look ahead at 2024 and what that will bring. And rule 1 applies, which of course is you don't touch the car until you know what the regulations are going to be. So there's a little bit of a holding pattern now, waiting for next year's regulations, see if there's any changes. Not expecting any, but you never know. Few upgrades to the car, planning to put an oil cooler on to enable the car to do a few more full day track days. I'd like to get out to some of the UK circuits that I've not done before, and certainly the plan for the sprinting is to do some of the circuits that, again, not done before, that come with really good reputations. So I want to try and take in as many of those next year as I can, even if it means not doing some of the ones that I've already done and enjoy from this year. So lots to look forward to. A few upgrades to the car over the winter break, and we'll be back at it again next year. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all the comments, thanks for coming and saying hello at all the events and taking an interest in the Speed Championship. Looking forward to next year. See you then.